What is going on YouTube? It's your boy, Mr. Random, and welcome to the freaking end of the world. I haven't seen the sunlight for like 5 months. Everybody's dying. We're still making some Lincoln videos. Anyways, speaking of Lincoln, this is my 1998 Lincoln Mark 8. Now, for all of you young bucks out there, what actually makes this car right here, this giant boat, so special is that it was the first, numero uno, the first to ever carry the now legendary Mustang Cobra engine. But as many of you guys might know, being the first to do something isn't always necessarily a good thing, and this being the OG Cobra motor, that means that there actually isn't much in the form of aftermarket support when it comes to cold air intakes for this car. But there is, however, 3 options. There exist 3 options for cold air intakes for this car, and being your everyday guy who works a freaking full-time job just like the rest of you, busting my ass, I make crap from this damn YouTube thing. I chose option number 3, which happens to be the cheapest and the easiest to do. Not only will you actually notice a slight significant horsepower gain, but the best part is it won't require you to cut into your precious Lincoln stock air intake. All you're gonna need for this modification is, first and foremost, a K&N high flow air filter, and then this kit right here. I'll leave a link in the description down below. It comes with this funnel that we're gonna mount through the front bumper, and of course it comes with this tubing or ducting that we're gonna feed into the intake tube that goes in through the headlight. I'll touch base on that in just a second. And of course, we can't do anything intake related without our handy dandy, trusty, heat reflective gold tape. First thing we got to do is we're going to disconnect the battery terminal. In this case, I'm going to disconnect the positive because it's a little bit easier. This is kind of rusted shut. Once we do that, the first thing we're going to do is install our K&N high flow air filter. Doing that is actually pretty damn easy. All you really have to do is take this screw out. You guys see it has a nut holding this screw in. I kind of messed up the first one, so there's no screw holding this part in. So take this screw off. Now, before we install the K&N filter, I want you guys to see exactly what the difference is for all you non-believers out there. This is a stock filter that came with the Mark 8. Take a look at the K&N. It's made out of a better material. It's not all this crappy paper. This is all synthetic. Look how thin it is, guys. Look just how thin this is compared to the stock. This right here, it's a good extra 3, maybe even 5 horsepower, depending on the car that you're installing this in. And installing it is just literally as easy as just dropping it in there. The reason I had you guys disconnect the battery is because I'm gonna have my lovely wife right here. She's a master at this by now. She's gonna wrap this entire intake right here in that heat reflective gold tape. Guys, you can find this tape on Amazon for like 15 bucks. This thing has been proven. It's used by not only drag racers, this thing is put on freaking satellites to reflect the heat off of the sun when they're going into freaking orbit. It can sure as hell reflect the heat coming off of this old 4.6 liter 4 valve. We will be removing this tube right here. We're just gonna unscrew this part that connects to the throttle body, and we're gonna remove this connector right here as well. Once you get that hose clamp loose, then you have this PCV hose. It comes off right here at the engine. That part unplugs. And then we got our mass airflow sensor plug down here. Just pull down right here on this tab and pull it out. Now your entire intake assembly is ready to be heat shield wrapped. There you go, baby. Thank you very much. Now, if you were to remove your air filter for a minute, you're gonna notice there's a giant gaping hole that just seems like it keeps going and going. Well, I'm going to show you guys where that hole leads out to. There's actually a tube that hangs out just around the headlight area, and that's where all the fresh air comes in. But you're going to see why this is kind of a problem. What you're going to want to do is go under the passenger side of your Lincoln, and right under the passenger headlight there's a tube that supposedly fresh air is supposed to go in, except it's fully blocked. There's literally no opening or anything for the air to go in, and that's what we're gonna address today. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set up this right here, this funnel, and yep, of course. Okay, let's try this again. So I got my funnel. This funnel is gonna stick out the front right here, this front area of the front bumper, as you guys can see, and then the other part is going to connect to that tube, which will then feed actual literal cold direct air into our air box. So since this tube is in the way, it's literally facing the front bumper, no air is literally getting through it. What we're going to do is we're going to remove this actual tube right here. You just gotta kind of wiggle it, and look at that, fully loose. We're going to remove that air intake tube that was feeding into the bumper out of the way, and what that's going to do is it's going to leave the hole perfectly clear and open for us to put our new ducting that's going to feed cold air literally as you drive directly into our air intake. So what we'll do is we'll feed our duct into the hole where the intake box is, and then we'll come over to our intake box, and boom, lo and behold, there is our actual cold air intake right there. This is leading all the way up to there. Look how stealthy that is. You couldn't even tell it was there on, I mean, now that you know it, but with this carbon fiber funnel, as you guys can see, super stealthy. Now, in case you guys are wondering how the hell did I secure the ducting to the intake box, well, I used some good old-fashioned trusty handy dandy duct tape. As you guys can see, there's a million times more fresh cold air going into this intake now than with that tube that was literally just pointing into nothing. But that's how I did it, and this thing is definitely gonna hold. Now, keeping true with the poor man's functional cold air intake, guys, in order to secure this without actually messing up our bumper, you're gonna drill a hole through the sides of our funnel. And in case you guys are wondering what it looks like on the inside at the bottom of the bumper, there is our funnel. It goes in, zip tie directly fed into our intake box. And there is our secured funnel. I just gotta clip these little zip tie ends. But if you've never created something or fixed something on a car with just duct tape and zip ties, you can't call yourself a car guy. After that, guys, all you have to do is just put your intake back on and you are ready to go. Huge shout out to the wife. Look, she even left the K&N just like I asked her to. Now the only thing left to do, guys, is to show you guys how much of a difference maybe 7-8 horsepower can make on a boat like this. Check this out. Now, to show you guys just how much of a difference just a couple extra horsepower makes on one of these cars. This car has never been able to peel out. It's so damn heavy, it just can't peel out. But we'll see what happens when I just punch it. We'll do the old-fashioned peel out test, aka the butt dyno. Here we go. Oh, by the looks of it, I'd say she passes the peel out test. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little Mark 8 modification video. There's going to be a crap ton more of them, guys. Keep an eye out. It's your boy, Mr. Random, your one-stop source for Crown Victoria videos and Lincoln Mark 8. Take it easy.